there's no way she ran away. This is a happy little girl. She's 8 years old. Where would she run away to?
Friends and family of Sandra Cantu stunned by her disappearance. It has been 1 week since the 8-year-old disappeared and still no suspects. I am back discussing this case with my expert panel. Let's go right out to Private Eye Vinnie Parco. Vinnie, few realize what an enormous undertaking a search like this is. We're talking waterways. Just going through the local trash dump is a monstrous assignment. And then there are all the interviews. There's something like 97 homes in this trailer community. How do the local cops manage this kind of massive effort?
Well, one of the problems you have is that these people have to be re-interviewed, because sometimes a police officer or a detective will interview someone, and then another detective will interview them and get another piece of information. So it's a tedious process, but it has to be done. And that's where good supervisory officers are very important, to collate all this information and to put everything together. That's the hardest part of this job.
I would think it would take hundreds and hundreds of people. Do they bring in law enforcement from other communities? Is it kind of a...
Sometimes they do, but I don't know if anybody realizes this. There seems to me to be a pattern. Why is only little girls missing in different states? Now, I investigated NAMBLA, a National Association of Man-Boy Lovers, and they target only little boys under age 14. Is it possible there's another organization that targets only little girls?
Well, I don't know. I certainly know that, Wendy, there's a huge problem with basically pervs, call it what it is, targeting children.
The most valuable child porn in this country is very young, very cute little girls. The younger, the cuter, the more expensive the material. And this business, this multi-billion-dollar business, knows that quite well.
She's right. It's a tremendous business, and a lot of it comes from Europe also, by the way.
I mean, not only is it a tremendous business, but the problem here is you're dealing with a condition, a psychiatric condition, which has no known treatment and no known cure.
That's
so
right.
you have these people, and they will offend again and again and again. And we've tried chemical castration, we've tried psychotherapy, we've tried to treat underlying psychiatric conditions, and it does not work. What needs to happen is they need to go to jail when they're caught, and
then get castrated.
Well, then they need to have the reporting system, which we have in place. And I need to make the point that the reporting system does have a Tier 1, Tier 2, and Tier 3. So the Tier 3, these are the really hardcore offenders who have to report for the rest of their life every 3 months where they are, and this weeds out the Tier 1s who are really not that severe.
Exactly.
So
Wait. Wait. Forget the tiers. Let's put them on an island, okay? Then we won't need that.
No, but Wendy, his point is
you
that
cannot take a 19-year-old who has sex with his 14-year-old girlfriend consensually and lump him with a 40-year-old who has stolen an 8-year-old.
Well, wait a second, guys. I've got to move on because we have other characters who are coming to the surface in this case. There's this 60-year-old man by the name of Frank Waller. He admitted to kissing Sandra 2 years ago when she was just 6 years old. Listen to a reporter ask about this incident.
I know nothing about her disappearance at all. I've known her. I knew her when I first moved there in 2006. We conversed a couple of times, and I don't know anything about it. I wish I did.
Did they talk to you a little bit about that incident that happened in 2006?
Correct.
Did you, in fact, kiss her on the lips?
Yes.
Why?
To be nice.
Okay, he kissed her on the lips to be nice. Before we go any further, this man, Waller, is not a suspect in this case. It's very important to point that out. But let me get back to Dr. Dale Archer. What do you make of that explanation? Could it have just been a moment where he did something inappropriate because he wasn't thinking?
You know what? I mean, it's hard to be able to comment just on one statement like that. But, boy, it doesn't sound good. It doesn't sound good.
Good answer.
Yeah, I mean, but...
Are you kidding me?
This is apparently an otherwise upstanding member of the community, and I think it's a moment of very, very bad judgment. But let's bring in the reporter again. Eric Firpo, what do we know about this particular individual, and what did police say about him?
Well, police aren't saying anything about him, but we know that he's a martial arts instructor and has been in town since 1992, and they searched his business. They took a couple of DVDs, he said, with photos on them. They took his cell phone. They probably took some other stuff. He didn't really, all he said said that they took were DVDs and cell
Well, look,
phones.
there are going
They
to
also
be people who
searched his
come
home.
up. Yeah, there are going to be people who come up, and it doesn't mean they have anything to do with this disappearance. You know, people don't live perfect lives, and they make mistakes. Very briefly, Eric, tell us about Sandra's father, and he's there, but he's not considered a suspect, right?
Well, they don't say who is a suspect and who isn't a suspect. His father is going to the PD again to talk to detectives, but they said today that he's there just to find out more information about his daughter, and then when he's there, they'll ask him more questions. He works in Southern California, east of San Diego, lives in Mexico, and so whether he's a suspect is unclear.
Well, he says he has absolutely nothing to do with this and supporting his daughter. I want to thank my excellent panel. Switching gears to the death of Anna Nicole Smith, I'll speak to